Welcome y'all to the Blackhoof Saloon, a Wild West Exodus podcast. Mosey on up to the bar and get yourself a bottle of firewater or a glass of sarsaparilla and listen to some good old yarns about adventures of law dogs, outlaws, and weird creatures. So set a spell, water your ride or your rider, and get ready to tune up your posses. This is the Blackhoof Saloon.
Are we live yet, Brian?
Button says.
I will switch it to gallery so they can see, bam, all our pretty faces. Hey, guys, it's a Blackhoof Saloon. Brian and Eric with you guys.
Yeah, well, welcome to a Blackhoof Saloon live stream. And
a little rusty.
I had some pretty amazing news awaiting for me when I got home. So we had to rush over to the saloon so we can share that with you guys.
That's right. That's right.
So since we've podcasted, there was a few murmurs of stuff coming and happening, and well, that's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also teasered today what's coming next for Dystopian Wars and Wild West Exodus. So, yeehaw.
Yeehaw is right. You got yours already. Mine it's on the way. It's on the Pony Express right now.
Right.
Hopefully I'll get it pretty soon, but I'm pretty excited to see some close-ups of these sprues that we're going to show off and just kind of dive into it.
I got today.
You got another box today?
Yeah, from our friends over at, Gadzooks.
Zeus Gaming.
You may do that backwards, but that's what that means. So in the haste to get the other thing shipped faster, he actually put that in a box and it left.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm like, then, of course, the email I got didn't have the other thing that I tagged on when I ordered. And so I sent, the other Eric a message saying, hey, the other thing's not listed in the shipping thing. And he goes, yeah, I got excited with the other box that I left off everything else that was supposed to go.
Oh, man. Well, that's cool that he got it in the mail right away for you.
Yeah, but it literally, they arrived at the same time, so it wasn't that big a deal. I guess the little one caught up eventually,
Yeah, and that's a big old box. Hold up that box next to your head. Show everybody how big this box is, because it kind of reminds me of the Dystopian Wars 2-player set, right? Oh yeah, that's a biggin. That's a biggin.
Yeah, it's a big one from our friends over at War Cradle.
Is it heavy too? It looked like from what I seen online, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weight wise, it's kind of similar.
Okay.
It's not that much difference that I can remember. Now, mind you, I haven't lifted the Dystopian Wars 2-player box in a while. It's mostly scattered all over my desk. So, I don't really have a real time-wise, but it feels, it feels as heavy as it should be, knowing what all is going to be in this thing.
Okay.
I have taken the plastic off the outside, but that's it. So we're about to dive in.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm gonna check over on Facebook real quick to make sure that we're going live. It looks like we are, and we actually have a couple comments. Let me see. So we have Mike Edwards is saying hello. Hey, Big Mike. And we got Benji on here with us.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and they're both saying hello. Glad you guys can make it for this unboxing. It looks like Benji got the set too. Is what he's saying on there.
Yeah, several people I've heard were saying, "Hey, check your mail." And of course, I didn't come immediately home. I uh, had to do carpool at the church,
Hmm.
with my wife. So when I got home, uh, basically I said, "Hey, I got this box, Eric. If you can, when I get back, let's do something." And then when I
I'm
got here,
surprised.
he goes, "Hey, instead of recording it, let's go live and then record it."
Well, you know what I'll do too for any of you guys out there that are jumping on the Facebook. I mean, you can go back and watch from the beginning if you're catching this late. And you know me, I'll probably put it on YouTube because there's a lot of people not on Facebook, and
Right.
maybe I'll even make it an audio. I don't know. So be descriptive.
I can't help myself. I will.
That's right. That's right.
All
Well,
right,
I
so we're going to transition to my other camera,
yeah.
uh, and uh,
Let me
it
do
is
that.
not on a super high tech swivel mount. It'll just be me holding it.
We're a
Uh,
little low
so,
tech here in the
so
saloon.
bear with the jostling of the Note 20 that I'll be holding while we do this.
I'll make sure it goes
I'm
over.
going to be changing the lighting so we don't have glares on the box.
I'm watching the live stream to make sure that it goes over. I hope it does, but if you guys can see the box, lighting looks good. Uh, it looks like we got a little bit of a lag on the live feed.
So is this what they're seeing live?
Not yet. I don't know how bad that. No, actually, we're seeing you. Why is?
Yeah, you need to switch it because I see you on my big screen.
All right. Why did that not work? Okay, well, we can see it. Just don't know why it won't. Ah, here we go.
Boom, there it is.
I'm hitting the wrong thing. Boy, we're a little rusty here on Zoom.
Hey, bear with us. We've been on a hiatus.
Oh, Benji actually says his is in the mail also. Uh,
Awesome.
he's getting his Saturday, it looks like.
All right. Well, pull up your saloon bar stool and get a preview before you get yours later in the week.
All
All
right,
right. So this is the Showdown at Retribution, the new two-player starter set for Wild West Exodus. As you can see, there's two icons on the box letting you know what factions are inside: the Union and the Enlightened.
heck
Uh,
yeah.
right? And our big fans over on the Dystopian War Sturgium Lounge will note that both of these factions are also in Dystopian Wars. Uh, so, any of those crossing over from the water over to the sands, the wilds of the West, this is going to be something that you will be able to cross over into while you wait for Lost World exits. All right, so obviously this box is pretty big. Got some art on the side, got some legalese, and it's the same sleeve style. So we're going to remove the sleeve.
You
And
almost need a third arm there, Brian.
I actually used my elbow, the camera elbow, to get to it. So I think I was able to do it without too much trouble. All right, so here's the sleeve. It's just easier for me to flip over the sleeve than it is the box because of the weight. All right, so here's a snapshot of what we're all going to see when we dive in. Obviously, there's the new rule book. So this is what they're calling version 3. And then there's a quick start guide, and then a Showdown at Retribution campaign book, uh, which is basically a narrative campaign book for this starter set, similar to how they did uh, the little book that came in the Dystopian War. So it's got a bit, basically a tailored series of scenarios to build up playing a full posse. So it basically starts you with a small force and move you up each scenario into a bigger showdown at the town of Retribution. Also note that in this two-player starter, basically War Cradle listened to the fans, right? One of the complaints of the earlier two-player set was it didn't have a whole lot of models, and there were only one set of the cards. So, as you can see,
Yeah, that's right. 2 sets of cards. Yeah, I remember I bought, because we were doing demos, I ended up buying extra cards just to have.
Right. I did too. And then I still had my printed ones that we had printed during.
Oh yeah, that's right. I still got those too somewhere.
They were on cardstock, so they were hard, and so they served really well during the beta testing and on into waiting for the new set to come out. But it comes with the new Wild West Exodus template, 2 sets of dice. So there's 8 dice in this box.
I like the range ruler that this set comes with too.
Right, and I know I mentioned it in the Dystopian War unboxing. The second arm of the rangefinder actually has 11 through 15 on it.
Okay.
So one side is, basically 5 through 10, and then you can attach, if you get another set, you can attach the second arm to be the third arm. And it can go all the way up to 15. Which, of course, in a future video, I will show you exactly how that works. Because I have the rangefinder for Dystopian Wars, which is the same thing that's in this box. So I will be able to extend it out. All right, so we will put this in front of the box so we have something to look at. At the backdrop is the pretty picture instead of, the assorted things that I haven't finished yet on my desk. All right, so this box is pretty big and heavy, so I will try to get the sleeve come off one-handed. Ta-da! Everyone's all that I'll
Ta-da!
one hand.
Ooh, the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna get close just so you can smell all that nice plastic and printing, and it's just awesome. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, man, I wish I could smell that right now.
I know, it's awesome. Okay, so here's the new action adventure card deck, right? Both decks are in this sleeve box. And something new, it has the Lost World Exodus logo on it. So that's basically a little bit of confirmation that the decks aren't going to be changing when Lost World Exodus arrives. Second box. So we have some bag of small and medium circle bases.
Okay.
Then we have a very tight bag with some medium oval, or I guess they're calling medium oval stadium bases. The width is the same as the medium base. And then something new, that big boy is a new large oval stadium.
Oh, see, I didn't realize. I saw in some of the pictures that it was oval, but I didn't realize that it's bigger than what we already got.
Right. Size is deceiving when you're looking on the web, some of those pictures.
Yeah.
So these are going to be for Eiffel and the spider calves.
Okay.
They had to be a little bit bigger because of how widespread those spidery legs.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more freedom too if you modeling wise.
Made it easy for anyone splitting a box. The dice are even split up in fours. All right, so yes, look, True. All right. So how will we check Facebook, and where should we start? Do we want to open these now, or do we just want to jump into sprues?
Let me see. Let's see if we got any comments here. May take a little bit of time to catch up, but let me see if we got anybody new. We got Tyler Tanner is agreeing with us. He's
Woo!
saying
Hey, Ty.
nice to hear from him on here. No responses yet of what they want us to dive into. I'm kind of thinking
Then you get the vote.
that we jump into the books so everybody sees what exactly books come in this. It's not just a rule book, right, Brian? It's a little bit different.
That's right. So it's the rule book plus. So it has a quick start guide is obviously the first thing you see because that's what it says right on top. And then there's the rule book, and then the campaign guide, and then behind it is 2 sets of the cardboard tokens. So why don't I do this? I know this is going to make everyone sad. I'm going to move this box to the side.
Don't worry, everybody. We will get back to it.
Yeah, that box will make a return visit.
So yeah, they designed this very similar. If you guys have the Dystopian War starter set, compared to the old starter set, I think this is a big jump forward with people that don't really have anything or are looking to get into it. Very similar to the Dystopian Wars, where they kind of ease you into it, right? Give you everything you need to get started.
Right. So yeah, the only thing you're going to really need to get started is you'll need some glue, a sprue cutter, and you need to build the thing. But there's something in here that's going to walk you through how to build them. And obviously, there's plenty of YouTubers out there that will be doing some walkthroughs as well. I'll probably be doing some videos as I dive into building, and or maybe we'll do another live stream. All right, so here are the tokens. It's just 2 sets, and it's the Dystopian Age token. But the one change in the token sheet is these.
Yeah, what exactly are those, Brian?
I believe there's something that they added into the Dystopian Wars, and it basically it's a way to track numbers.
Like, okay.
For like damage to your hulls or
okay. I mean, you could use them for like maybe activation. This person activated already, type of thing, and
right. I'm sure the books will walk you through what we could use these for on our side. So, as you can see, it even says, "Hey, use these for Dystopian Wars, Lost World Exodus, Wildwood Exodus, and other Dystopian Age games." Other Dystopian Age games.
So they're hinting at not just Dystopian Wars, but more that you can get. I don't know, a little lost in.
the tokens flip over and have higher numbers on the other side. So tokens.
And you said there was 2 sets in there, right?
There are 2. So if you're switching off with a partner, they can get their own tokens, their own dice, their own deck. The downside is you won't be splitting the book.
Okay. But eventually, once the gubbins come out, eventually in time, War Cradle will make these rules available like they have in the past online. So one of you guys, if you do split this, well, you can easily just go download it and then you got it.
Right. So they've already the trade store already got loaded up with what's coming in November. So probably at the end of the week, they'll be announcing officially the pre-order unlocking for what's coming next. And for Wild West Exodus, uh, the Gubbins box.
Yeah.
So anybody who isn't jumping into the new starter because they're not playing the Union, they don't play the Enlightened, so
I
they're
don't know
like,
why not.
I'll wait for the Gubbins box. Not a long wait. So another 4 weeks, and the Gubbins boxes should be crashing into your mailbox.
Yeah, yeah. And that's designed for those, the players that aren't interested in these factions, have a lot of the older model sets and stuff. They can jump right into it.
Right. So one of the other sets that was on pre-order at the same time as this is the terrain set Retribution.
Those look nice too, and that's
Red Oak
multicolor, right?
Right, yeah. So just like Red Oak terrain was why the first starter was the called the Red Oak starter. This is the Retribution starter. So there's a town they've come out with. But these are very much like the newer waves of terrain sets coming from War Creator Scenics, which includes multicolored MDF. So as you build it, you don't really need to paint them. They look amazing just right after you put them together.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing I would maybe possibly do is hit it, maybe with washes here and there just to give it that staining
weathering.
look.
Maybe
weathered. I guess he wanted to see the box set too, Brian. This is something the viewers can't see because we're focused on this, but Brian's cat just kind of joined him to help out.
Yeah. And dove through models. Like, here's the aftermath of the cat.
It's like a big giant.
Paladin.
Yeah, look at him. Big giant kaiju. Oh, I felt that pain before.
Bad kid. At least it didn't knock over my bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's sniffing his aftermath. He's like, "Whoa, what did I do, Dad?" All right, so here's the materials. Here's the official rule book. More than half of it is fluff. The fluff didn't really change. Only the first 40 pages are going to have been, significantly updated with the new rules. Any changes and stuff, they'll be on there. Campaign book. So why don't we start with the quick guide, right?
Yeah, I think that's where everybody's going to kind of start, right?
So, hey, it even has a read this first. And it basically says, hey, use this booklet, build, and then quick start rules. All right. So here we have the how to build Gustav.
And I'm assuming that these are going to be available online too eventually if they, once this goes full retail, they may be.
Yeah, I'm sure that once they update the cards online,
yeah, that's true.
Underneath the card will probably be like a little link to jump into their
build guides. Yeah.
Someone new to the world of Wild West Exodus, Emily. Oh, we need a Tom.
that looks like kind of a French pronunciation, so put your best French accent on there.
Noguier.
Yeah, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good. I'm gonna go with that. I want to see if I can get a little bit brighter in there so you can see some of the details of the model. So she is holding the head of a crashed up tacton. Really. So I've already seen her card, and she's basically a
so mechanic or something, engineer.
Yeah, automaton repair and that kind of stuff. So Smash and Grab is a new creation. It's basically a two-armed split personality monster. So it's got two heads. Well, one is a fleshy head. The other one is an actual automaton. So
Okay.
it basically they attached half of a UR30 bot to it.
A little bit different for them. Usually it's just the Frankenstein monsters, but
Right.
now a little bit
Well,
different.
Emily, as she's the robot gal.
There we
So
go.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure fluff wise, she probably created Smash and Grab. That's probably her little pet project, is the merging of those two techs.
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone's scientist to hate, Nikola Tesla. We call him the he stole that.
Yeah. and this is a regular version of him, right? So I know this was kind of, people were clamoring for a regular version of him because all we have is legendary. Well, now you got two different forms of them, which is kind of
So
nice.
his artwork kind of started teasering way back when Outlaw Miniatures did the art book.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So obviously it's a different design. It
Reminds me of Iron Man a little bit. I think it's the center chest piece, but he reminds me of Iron Man.
Right. And I watched a video from Nicholas. And he had the Union stuff all painted up. And he definitely didn't shy away from that. And his Nikolai is red and gold.
Oh, that's cool. That's funny. Have some fun with it like that.
Sorry for that. I ejected a cat off the deck.
Before he starts more trouble, huh?
Well, he's just sneaking around. Stay away. So the people who've already built him saying he's floating in the air on the fields of electricity. Which is so cool.
That is pretty cool.
So very much like the picture. So just go slow. The Union Bell, we've been waiting for them. Obviously, we always knew when More Creative was planning the Tesla box set that the Union Bell was going to show up, and that we were going to get the new UR30 Union bots, and so here they are. Boom.
Mike Edwards said when you were talking about Iron Man, he said, "Cue the Black Sabbath Iron Man song."
And we didn't. Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, so here's Carl. This is the plastic Carl. Some of us already have the resin Carl. There's a few design tweaks for him, so he's not the same model. So those of you who got to get them all, this is a new one.
Yeah. The old one was resin, if I remember right.
Old
right?
resin. And yeah, he's Union, but he's also cross faction into Lawman.
Okay.
That's not changing. So yeah, he is in this group, and you can see him sneaking around Tesla shooting at some bots. All right, next up, monocav / strider cav. The reason they say it that way is because, depending on which one you want, the main portion, the cockpit, the half zombie rider, and then the power cell on the back is the same no matter what.
Oh, okay. That's kind of nice for building.
But then the guns and the wheel underneath that are attached if you want the monocav. What was that? Did someone say magnets? Oh, yeah. So you could probably do a rig where you use magnets to.
Yeah, you have fun with that. I already have. I have
do.
I have a set of 3 resin mono calves from outlaw days that, yeah, I'm going to be going full spider. So
Right. And you have both the old and the new Eiffel Legendary, don't you?
yes, I do.
All right.
I'm going to just have all kinds of
I
spider
only have the
goodness.
original Eiffel spider, but after seeing you compare the two, I think I need.
Yeah, the new one is really nice, just the way it's laid out. So he's not squished.
So I will probably do one magnetic,
And then you can swap them out.
and then the other two will be probably just be spider.
Yeah. It's nice that these are plastic, it's easier to do that.
Right. They're easy to do. But the one thing is, if the spider is literally walking around on little spiky legs,
Yeah.
I would probably use one of the flight mounts
Mm,
to hold it up.
yeah, that's a good
Right.
idea. Yeah.
And then have the flight mount have a big magnet on the bottom attached to the base by a big magnet, which then I would repeat on the wheel.
Okay.
Or something similar. We'll see. I don't know. But I definitely will at least dive in and try to theory it out. All right. Whoa. Tesla bots are so awesome. They needed 2 pages.
Wow. Not quite
There's
as
2 ways to do them. There's the A, which is the melee version. So they have a baton
Mhm.
and a basically it looks like electro shield.
Okay. So they give you some choices, which is kind of cool. And then what does the B one have? That's for range or something?
No, it looks like the difference between the A and B isn't the weapons, it's the leg posing.
Oh, okay.
Because it
And
looks like their legs are slightly different.
it looks like they have
Which
3 different heads you can pick from too.
Yeah, there are 3 heads.
Okay.
But it does look like some of the parts are a little bit different, right? So like the legs are 23 and 22, and then 21, 24. So they're a little bit different legs. Um, enough that it gives you the posability to make sure that all 3 don't look the same.
Okay.
Obviously, unless you buy more, which I'm assuming some people will be. And then, of course, you can switch them out to be the range versions by using the gun arm, the 2 gun arms.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's a third. Oh, so even another set of legs.
Okay.
And it looks like at least one set of um, a lefty bot.
Okay.
So you have the baton and the lefty.
That's good variety.
I'm curious if anyone's going to double batons or double shields.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Uh-oh. First page of the Contract Cavalry Iron Eagle subassembly. So the key word is subassembly because the sprue builds 1 iron horse.
Okay.
A 1 sprue, and it's the same standard half sprue size. So if you've gotten any of the dystopian wars, it fits the standard posse box. 1 sprue is as big as that standard posse box for Wild West Exodus. That's how big a sprue is, and it usually is made to where it can be cut down the middle. So 1 whole posse size box size sprue is an iron horse. We'll see it shortly when we dive into the sprues. But That's a lot of plastic for one little model.
Yeah.
But the reason is the sub-assembly, because you're going to have a lot of extra parts. So as you pick up more and more iron horse sprues, you can make them in multiple ways, like the Iron Eagle. So the Iron Eagle is a iron horse that has the armored casement around the pilot. So it's a
Okay.
heavily armored iron horse. Well, the old Iron Eagle, which I actually have on the desk, was fully encased. But as you can see, the iron horse is under there somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just has this full encasement over the top of the pilot. So what they did is, to be able to do, basically it makes it easy. They've added the parts to build the iron horse on the same sprue. So you have the iron horse, and then you add the upgraded armor, turning it into the iron. So you leave it like that, and it's a standard Union cavalry. You just need to add a gun. But you look over here, this iron horse is considered the more of like the enlightened version, because
Okay.
you can put the construct pilot, because there'll be pieces for a construct pilot. You have a zombie piloting it. Oh, it doesn't show you all the pieces that it can do. Oh, that'll be fun when we get to the sprint. So here's all the cards.
That's nice that they have those in there.
Right, so the cards are in this thing. Now, mind you, if they make any tweaks or upgrades or something like that, these cards will need to be tweaked as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some things to note about the new cards. They shortened the amount of tag words, right?
Okay.
They removed a few just to make them streamline them. As you can see, Tesla no longer has boss. So what they did is, in Wild West Exodus, the terms commander are in place of boss, instead of having both like you did in 1.09, just to get us used to the idea that commander is coming. Now it's just a replacement.
Okay.
So he is a commander. He is not a boss.
A lot of the other stuff there looks very similar, familiar.
Right. Note the 20 points. So they basically, all the point system has been basically lessened by 10.
Okay.
Like 10, a 10. So, it's not like they didn't actually just divide everything by 10, but it's close to that. It basically, why are we doing all this math with an extra 0 at the end of everything when everything is, nothing was less than 10 points, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, why bother? So yeah, you go back. Union Bell, she's 14 points. You can see she's face. She's a legendary face. Union Human Female. Got quite a few things. They lessened They kind of merged common rules and special rules. Now it's just special rules.
Okay.
So inside the rule book, there's a very short special rules section, because there's only a handful. So instead of having like pages and pages of all these special rules,
Yeah. I used to have like the
streamlined
little
it.
cards and stuff.
Right. So what they've done is, instead, the rule will be on the card.
Okay.
Right. Say like parry is no longer a weapon ability; it's a special ability.
Okay. Yeah, I think any little bit that keeps you from going back in that book is a benefit.
Right.
It doesn't take you out of the game and stop the flow of the game, and keeps it flowing.
Right. Exactly. So one thing to note, Mr. Carl no longer has Portal Master.
Hmm.
He has a new ability called Portal Shot.
Interesting.
So he can teleport, but he can't open and create portals.
Okay.
Here's the Iron Eagle. All that extra armor does slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
And the pilots are the automaton. Here's how they designate the base sizes. They're no longer calling them small, medium, and large, although I did, but it'll take a while to get used to that. Medium is now base size 2,
2. Okay.
as small as 1. Tesla Rifleman, Tesla Guards.
Hmm.
That's either 5 points per model, 3 to 6.
3 to 6. Okay.
Here's Emily.
Ooh. I see another faction on there.
She is Enlightened and Outlaw. And you see she got Repair, she got Jury Rig, and
Oh yeah. Okay.
So she's basically, a techie
Yeah.
scientist. And like I said, that's where Smash and Grab came from. Like it. Here's Tesla. One of the new rules is Skitter. Skitter is basically the rule that basically mandates movement in a certain way based on the fact that the model is sideways on the stadium base.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and just like the Tesla, that's like a regular version of Eiffel.
Right.
So now we'll have 2 versions of Eiffel, which is kind of exciting to me. He's probably going to be cheaper than the legendary, so I can just fill out the ranks with more little creepy crawly spiders if I want.
Right. So here's a picture of Smash and Grab. You can obviously see the bot attached to the zombie. $11 points. So he's both a construct and automaton. It doesn't really matter. Elena Miller will have fun destroying him. Yes, I have a favorite faction.
Yeah, hint, hint.
Here's the Enlightened Construct Cavalry.
Okay.
See, it's a little bit faster because it's not weighted down with a bunch of extra armor.
Yeah. 2 to 6 of them.
Target. And it can blow itself up if it likes. Notice they're 2 to 6. We have a group of 6 of them. Monocavs are 1 to 3 for 6 points apiece. They're quick 6.
So they're pretty fast.
Yeah, not bad. But Arc Whip is so cool.
Nice, clean looking cards too.
Yeah, very, very nice. There's less background.
Yeah.
So when you're printing them, it's the only hard bit is going to be right here in the middle. Everything else is going to print much better.
Yeah.
And not be as ink saturated. I think someone's already even asked if there's a way that they can even make them more friendly. I remove all that stuff completely. Oh, and here's some tag stuff for the blog, the forum, and the website.
Cool.
One thing I left off was the Dark Council Facebook group. You still with me?
Yep. Gotcha.
I lost you on the.
So that book was basically just to get you started in building them. It gives you your stat cards, so you're all set for your forces. Because this comes with basically 2 forces that are just once they're built, ready to go out of the box.
Right.
And then we start with this book.
All right. As you can see, it starts off with a story written by Matthew Allen. Thank you, Matthew. And then, boom, that's all the models in this starter. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a bit in there. They don't look hard to build though, so I don't think they're gonna take that long.
I think someone said that the harder parts are going to be obviously the little spider legs, and
Yeah.
then putting, Tesla up on his electro stilts. So, all right. So, see, we have Adventure 1 called Flee. So it's a very much uh, it's focused on learning movement and actions.
Okay. So these are
And it even tells you what rule book, what pages in the rule book to
Oh,
focus
that's
on.
nice. So you can
to walk you
reference
through
them.
the section.
So these are designed from base level, get you going how to play the game.
It tells you what you're supposed to bring.
Okay.
So basically, 3 UR31 Tesla bots versus 1 monocab. So Enlightened is just going to have the 1 monocab model, and then the Union will have the 3 bots. So the Union deploys in the larger area, the Enlightened deploys in the other. Then use page 41 for deployment rules. Plane controlling the monocab needs to escape the battlefield. To do this, they must make a move action that takes them off the play area anywhere along the longest table edge within the Union's deployment. So you basically got to cross the board. If the monocab has left the table via the Union deployment edge, the player wins the game. If not, by the end of the 3rd round, the Union player wins. So basically, it's a quick skirmish to get you off the board. And if you escape, then you win. If you don't, Union wins. Adventure 2, Engagement. It covers shooting. Gives you a sample of how to set up your board. Now we're doubled up with Tesla blocks and added a strider.
Okay. I like that they have the page references too, so you can, if you still had more questions or something, you can go back to the rule book.
Right. And I like this. It tells you, hey, put some scatter terrain in there so you have places to take cover.
Yeah.
Light player wins if they can destroy at least 3 of the test blocks before the Union player can destroy either one of the monocabs or the strider cab. So, again, these are like quick, get you used to the rules. Vendetta, close combat. Close combat looks like in a building. Woo! Smash and grab versus Union Bell. Oh, it's a boxing match.
Oh, jeez.
If possible, use a building or similar that has an accessible interior and deploy both characters inside. The cat house from Wayland Scenic's Red Oak Range is an excellent example. It's a fight in a cat house. That is awesome. It's basically destroy the other one. So it's basically learn how to do melee combat. This one's perfect. This looks like it's a full, it's the boss. and they're
full posses.
yeah. So this is more of a named characters versus named characters.
Okay.
No peons, and it's remove the boss.
Okay.
This is covering fortune. Basically, that's why the boss is here. So let's dive in and figure out how to use fortune. And then the end is the showdown. Which
That's cool. So there's 5 in there.
name.
Now we haven't got into the adventure decks, but Tony is watching. He's has a question if there's any change to the initiative decks.
The initiative decks. So he's talking about the action deck.
I'm assuming any of the decks is
Right. So there is no change to the action deck. And that is the smaller of the 2 decks. That was where you would do your initiative. It also tells you how many action points you have.
okay.
One thing to consider in the game, they've kind of like streamlined limit. So, you know, 2 is now the standard limit across most models.
Okay.
So faces, most of the faces are limit 2 now.
Okay.
If you are what they consider a legendary face, your limit is going to be 3.
Okay.
And then bosses are limit 3, except for the legendaries, which then they would be 4.
And then the adventure decks, they did do a little bit of updating just to kind of bring in some of those keywords and stuff like that.
It makes so the old hat, just the symbol, was confusing. So they got rid of the hat as a symbol. It now just tells you, hey, this is a triggered activation.
Okay.
Right?
So it just kind of clarified stuff.
Yeah, but the card with its number, right? Because it also has a little tiny number in the corner, just like the action deck. Those didn't change. So the specific card in the deck that used to be for victory points for boss, still do victory points for boss. It's just now going to say like boss / commander.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, we'll open the deck and we'll show you one of those. But that's basically what has been described to everybody by Stuart. It's like, look, the cards didn't change. It's a new print, so we cleaned up that kind of stuff. But the actual cards themselves still do the same thing. It just now we reworded it to make sure it was clear.
Okay.
And I'm taking the poop out of this while I'm talking. But so this is like a full game. So it basically uses everything, and it uses all the rules. So it basically it kind of eases you into doing a full game. And man, that is just sweet.
That's the same art on the cover box, right? Okay, yeah.
It is. It just doesn't have the burnt packaging around it, and it is just sweet. Again, blah blah blah. So the saloon is actually going to go deep dive into the rules.
Yeah.
Just like we did with the old series of rules, we'll have various topics where we'll dive in,
kind of cover what some of the big changes were, and maybe clarify something in there. Yeah, I see your name. I see your name. I knew what you're doing there.
And they still do a nod out to the Dark Council. That's the Facebook group. Cam and his Outlaws. It's just basically nodding to the previous version of the game. From Outlaw Miniatures.
Yeah, where they started.
Yeah. So there is a contents, gives you the heads up where you can jump into things. Always useful, especially if you're trying to find a specific section of rules. Dude, the pictures, they've all been dusted off and we got new pictures. Like Stern is looking like this is actually a hilarious picture because it has like the wedding going on, but then you got the guy up here like with the news, like telling everyone, "So and he's reading the decree." So it's like, whoa, what? Who's objecting to this wedding? Oh, we've got this icon that kind of clarifies line of sight. Again, I'm not going to dive into any specific rules. There is rules. There's a new turning template, which we'll show you when we jump into the box. And so those are the rules. Here's a little graphic of
nice clean graphics. Cool art.
Oh, okay. So that other little box that I got is the new Morgan.
Okay.
I got the old Morgan, but I had to get the new.
AKA Suspenders McGee, as Tom would say.
No, I don't call him. Oh, look, someone brought lunch.
I just go over building the force, all the different cards, what everything means on them.
This section, all this stuff stayed the same. The crit success, crit failures, that hasn't changed. So as you can see, under units, it changed a bit because you have boss units, commander units, right?
Okay.
So they're fully detailed because the Union and Enlighten do not have bosses in it. They have commanders. Base units, specialists, and they have like bosses usually have the following specials: largesse, quicken the dead, target priority, metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the commanders typically have command, quicken the dead, target priority, and metal. So very short list of specials. Unit coherency didn't change. Transfer units didn't really change. During the rules updating, we tried to get the way things are worded really cleaned up. So a lot of the changes were that kind of stuff, right?
Okay. Kind of looks like the book's been reorganized a little bit too.
Yes, and to my own horn, a lot of the things I was suggesting when we were going through the document was that kind of stuff. The pacing. I think Fred from Facebook, he was also kind of like, hey, we need this flow to make sense. So a few of us were focused on, as we were going through the rules, saying, hey, this section really needs to be moved here. It just makes more sense. And then in the last couple of dust offs, I went into format guru and I was like, okay, just move this here, tweak this so it lines up here.
Yeah.
That's why you have a lot of things, kind of fitting it where it goes. So special rules, 1 page, right? Special rules, 1 page.
Much
right?
better.
Remember how many pages the old special rules?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's just 1 page. Quicken the dead, largesse, command, priority, metal, and then teamwork. That's it. And that is a very short list compared to the other ones, right?
Yeah.
Now, the big thing about Quicken the Dead is no longer the Matrix style, bend over in the middle of the open field.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is linked to diving for cover.
Okay.
Right? So your Quicken the Dead, basically, if you survive your quickness, you can move your quickness to terrain.
Okay.
Right? So it basically is a reaction to, you basically saw someone about to shoot you and you dove into cover.
It's very thematic.
Right.
We still got fortune. I know a lot of people.
Notice no tough. As a special rule.
We still got fortune. I know people are worried about
didn't change.
Fortune,
although the amounts did change for some of our heroes.
Okay.
I think as a rule, most faces won't have that much. They may have 1 or none. Legendaries obviously would be where you'd see an increase. Spinning fortune, they changed the name of Hunker to Hit the Dirt. Actually, what was it called? It wasn't called Hit the Dirt. It was something else, but it was basically, using fortune to go hunkered. Now it's called Hit the Dirt. Wish it didn't change. Taking one for the team is now here. Veteran instincts. Walk it off. So play. All right, phases of the game. So this phases of the game picture just walks you through. This didn't really change. The pacing is the same. But what we did do is, as we go through the book does follow this in a natural evolution, right? It goes through the phases. It ends there.
I'm looking it up what it was called. I think it was just called Hunker Down.
I think so. So see, this is what's going to show up on the guts instead of the hat. It's +1 triggered activation.
Okay.
So that's the biggest change to those cards. But it's
more self-explanatory, really.
Right. It just clarified it, because a lot of people weren't familiar. They, no matter how many times they were like, "What's this hat?" They look it up.
Yeah.
So now they just call it what it is. Oh, tweet. Action cards didn't change. Actions, the way the actions work, free actions that didn't change.
Mm-hmm.
Now it goes into move actions. The get out and get in, those didn't change. Then it goes into combat actions again. A lot of this just got a dust over, make sure it made sense, clarified things. Click into crit checks and wounds. More awesome art.
All the conditions.
Special actions. Flight special. Flight did change from the 18 inches to 15. Ram didn't change. I think the wording of charge just got cleaned up, but it basically is still doing the same thing. Now there's a succinct section on reactions. This is something that, basically the fans really wanted to see, to basically clarify the reaction section as to, hey, can we have a really good list? So here's the list. We've already seen the rules elsewhere in the book. Hey, we're going to tell you where to go check it out.
Okay.
Conditions didn't change. Page did, because we got new art. Play area. This section again was cleaned up quite a bit, as terrain was tweaked.
Okay.
Right? They streamlined it, trying to make it a little easier. And this section, the building section, definitely changed. And it allows for play inside.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
And you no longer need get in and get out to move in and out of buildings. You just move.
Okay.
You have to move through doors and windows.
Okay, it makes sense. Yeah.
Right? And you draw a line of sight from doors and windows.
Okay.
So you there is no more. You can shoot from the teeniest, tiniest corner of the building.
Mm-hmm.
You shoot from where your model is, and you just can't draw a line of sight unless you have a window or a door nearby.
Okay.
We do have still portals. Just Carl is no longer a portal man. But guess who is?
And then we get into the weapon types and qualities.
Yep, weapon qualities. Some of these got reworked or reworded. But literally, just to clarify, nothing in this section was like hit with the big change. And most of these changes were just minor rewording. Uh, Again, when we dive into it as a threesome on the podcast, we'll go through some of these just to, say this it did change, this didn't. Uh, Adventure scenario deployments. Some of this was cleaned up, but it goes through. I think Upper Hand is a new name, but it basically is just a reworked scenario that we already
Okay.
have. Very similar to what we already
Yeah, they pretty much look the same. And then they got all the back was like the fluff that we pretty much know. And okay.
have. Yep, fluff is still the same.
How the heck did you like just flip and open up to that page?
I don't know, but I went with it.
Yeah. What else we got in this box set? I mean,
No, that's it. We're done.
Okay.
See you guys next week.
I mean, it came with the dice. It came with measuring stuff. We already showed off the tokens. It's got the decks and so yeah, here's some of the sprues. There's your new blast template, and
so this is the new template.
Okay.
It covers blast. It covers the turret.
Okay.
That's the turning radius. So any model on a stadium base can't just turn without using one of these. So typically anything on an oval base, they're a little bit faster, they're more, lumberous. So they have to use the turning template. So that's what that's for. Here's the range swivel, right?
Okay.
The way it's designed is the first section has a hole, then the middle one has that little thing that dives or snaps into it. But as you can see, this section also has 11 through 15 and has another hole. So what you do is, now that I have my old one, I can actually use this section and snap it on top of this, and then now mine will go to 15.
Okay.
So, ta-da. All right. So, flight stands for the jet bikes. So one of the new design features, they do not have skis. So they don't rest on skis on your.
Yeah, that was the one thing of the old ones I didn't like. I always used like a paper clip or wire or something just to get them off the skis.
Yeah, I used a plastic sprue or a plastic rod and held them up.
Just to get them up.
Flight stands they have here. So like if you look under my Iron Eagle.
Oh yeah, okay.
Then yeah, I changed all my bases from round to stadium. All right, so first sprue. Let's move this box so we can just grab one sprue at a time. Ta-da.
So what do you got there? What do you got? That looks.
So this is sprue number 1. So if you look on the edge, War Cradle Studios, and this will say Eiffel Posse. See how that has that natural split in the middle? And this one will say Tesla Posse.
Okay.
So we can get some tight pics of.
Now, does it look like there's a lot of flashing and stuff on that for cleanup?
I haven't seen much, but as we, lift it up, and we'll be able to check.
Looks like it's very nice details, crisp.
So because it's plastic, you may see there's a little bit of flashing on
Oh
that
yeah,
pipe,
okay.
but the edge of an X-Acto, that
Yeah.
there's the chest of smash and grab, where it looks like the integration of the robot into the flesh transition. Couple of heads. Got Eiffel's head. Got Emily's. Got what looks like Grab's head.
Okay, yeah.
And there's Smash's head. There's Grab's arm, robot arm. Smash's big hammer arm. All right. Go ahead and look at the other side of it. There's the little canine bot's head. So it looks like Emily has a gauntlet right here that has basically extra robot hands to help with probably, removing parts or aiding in repair. Just kind of neat little design feature. There's the front of Emily. She's got a big jumpsuit. It reminds me very much of like like she's trying to keep protected from sparks or
Oh
fluid.
yeah.
Very much like a science laboratory jumpsuit. All right, so let's look at Tesla's. Get up in here. There's Mr. Tesla's face. You can almost hear him saying, "I am Iron Carl." There's the repulsor blast. I mean, the portal gun. There's Elena, the Union Bell's face. Got a smile. Ooh. Electricity. Sparks. Looks like that's his base attachment. Carl's chest. Gadgetry. Tesla's chest. Power punching fists on his legs with skittering lightning across.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. I can't wait to paint that. Elena's legs. She's got legs.
Yeah, she's rocking those heels.
Gotta use them. What?
She's rocking the heels.
Yeah. Leg. The other leg, pistola. So one of the biggest changes to Carl is the design of the gadgetry on his cloak.
Mm-hmm.
They created these large, I don't even know what they are.
Those are his synthesizer drums.
Could be. Yeah, they do. The Guitar Hero drum set.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of the pieces for the models you have to build are pretty much one piece. Like an arm is all one piece, or a leg is all one piece.
Right.
That's pretty nice.
Some of them, like, are even more.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So it looks like they were conservative in the design choices, but the goal was to make sure we had plenty of details where they want the details.
Yeah.
So, again, this sprue.
And I mean, and that's
this is not a rudimentary sprue design.
no, but I
and
think with
these
just
aren't
those,
rudimentary plastic. These are, from my eyes, just as good as what they were paying outside vendors
yeah,
to do. Like,
yeah,
obviously, a lot of the plastics we been playing with mostly were the outlaw negotiated sprue designs uh, with the Chinese vendor, right?
yeah.
But this,
Well, I think just
I'm
it'll
doing
be
just as good.
for people to
And
get them built quicker and to the table, and not as fiddly in building, I think.
well, I do see this as being an enlightened sprue. I do not see the telltale markers of the construct
Yeah,
design.
exactly. Yeah.
Now, I love the way they designed the construct hands because of the level of detail. Yes,
Hmm.
there were very small parts having to be embedded into the arms. Like the arms weren't one piece, they were two pieces. The exoskeleton parts you added to the parts. So there was a lot of that kind of, you had to add another piece, you had to add another piece, you had to plug in the brain spike, which is a very teeny tiny piece. I even lost one, but the building of those were just so fun. I like the building part. I enjoy that tinkering, and they were just fun to build.
Yeah.
Uh, so not to take anything away from that, these look just as awesome, and they don't seem to like get away from uh, making it easy to build, right? Which the flip side is more pieces and just makes it a little more difficult. So it
Yeah.
looks like most of these, except for Tesla having to mount him on those little pieces of conducting energy. I think all of these are going to go together really straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 legs, 2 arms, a head, maybe a
So
backpack or something. And
if you're new to modeling, get help with somebody to mount him up on these, just so
yeah.
you don't have to make any you know, grumblings. All right, the next sprue we have here, the Iron Horse sprue. Notice it is labeled as the Iron Horse sprue. And remember, I said that the trade store has the new next month options.
Yeah.
While with Exodus, the Iron Horse box is up for pre-order coming next week. So you can get a box with 2 Iron Horses in it. These sprues will be the same. So that box is going to be just 2 of this sprue.
Okay.
And this sprue will allow you to build models or Iron Horses for the Enlightened, the Union, the Outlaws, and the Lawmen. Oh, and I also forgot the Hex. So this sprue was designed with all of these extra arms, bodies, legs to give you the ability to have this one sprue feed 5 of the 8 factions.
That's a lot. That is a
No,
lot.
it's awesome. Now, you know, that it's like something we've been waiting, right? We
Oh,
wanted War
yeah.
Cradle to put out Iron Horses because the Iron Horses, the resin ones, they're hard to come by, right?
Yeah.
So this is huge for Wild West Essence, and just in time for Christmas. All right, let's dive into this. All right. Notice the dramatic pause. So you see, you have a very much a Union leg, right? It's the Union that looks just like the Union Trooper leg. Then you have this leg, it reminds me of the Outlaw
Mm-hmm.
with the little cuff at the bottom, or it could be Lawman. Uh, here's a leg. It's got some buckles. I guess that could be Lawman. Really is up to you, right?
Yeah.
Uh, this chest is the Outlaw uh, hands armor, or is that the
Okay. Mm,
I think that's a Union armor set.
yeah, it might be Union, I think.
There's just a little like a vest,
Yeah.
and then you have looks like enlightened guts. Then you have someone who has like a chest piece, and I think this may be like Ranger.
Yeah, that's what that kind of looks like to
And
me.
you got like this couple of little cyber arms. 'Cause a lot of the Rangers are cybernetic. And then, oh, what do we have here? Well, hello, darling. So they even wanted to be inclusive, and there's a couple of options that we may not have considered to be on this group. And those who want to be including the UR30 mounts for like the Iron Eagle, there's the UR30 body, and a couple of
Hmm.
and a little backpack. And they gave us a head for the breasticles.
I
Then
like
you got
that.
a Union hat. Then you got a very much it's like a helmet,
So there's
or bot helmet, a
Ben
grenade.
Benji's asking how many of the Iron Horse sprues there are. There's 2, you said, right?
No, there's 4 in this box.
There's 4. Okay. So you can make
There's 4 in the Showdown box, but next month you'll be able to buy
2
2
of
in a
them.
box.
Okay.
So when I said there's 2, that was very much highlighting next month's pre-order.
Yeah. The starter set gives you enough that you can do 2 for each sides.
Or
4 for 1. Any combination I guess you want, right?
Right. That's what's so awesome. It literally is got so much flexibility to do various things. A little cyborg face, big cannon, headlamps, shoulder pads, a hat. Oh, look, a couple of pistols. You want to put some pistols on the side of your rider. Looks like a scarred up, long haired hippie or female.
Ah, that was good. That was good. Old man.
Right. All right, so here's the body chassis of Iron Horse. I love the design where the front is like this big circular like reactor,
Yeah.
and then now the the, the front vent hood cow catcher is out in front of that. It's just wicked. It's just cool. Here's a couple of the armor pieces that kind of hover over the bike for uh, the armored Iron Eagle. Got a couple of Gatlins. There's the saddle. Someone made a comment. There's a peg in that saddle. That way, it's going to be easier to build your your leg butts so they can ride in the saddle easier. Here's weapon options. You got the big electro cannons. You got a big auto cannon grenader, maybe. Flamethrowers. Those flamethrowers are humongous.
Yeah.
Spin this around. Look at the other side. Jet exhausts. Some instrumentation panel right there. These, I think, are the landing struts. They kind of ride up underneath
Okay.
the device, or like landing kickstand kind of thing. Sure, someone may, even though these are designed to be on flat pegs, someone might just have it landing,
Yeah.
and that's what you do. That those don't work. All right, like I said, there's 4 of those, so we're not going to have to look at all 4 because they're all the same.
So what do you got next in there?
The next bit. So again, the sprues are all the size of a standard posse box, but they can be split in the middle. So we have one half is the Enlightened vehicle sprue. So this is going to be enable you to build your monocab or the spider.
Okay.
And this side is the UR30.
Okay.
And there are 3 of these. So you can build 3 of the monos, and then you can build 3 sets of bots. And each
Okay.
one of these is 3 bots. And the sprue is the same. So this one sprue has all the parts to be able to do 3 with the shield and batons, or 3 with the rifles.
Okay.
So you also, as you can see, you get the different sets of legs. Well, each sprue has the 3 designed legs. So you can mix it up. So lift it up. Look down and see. Here's some spider legs for the spider cat. And no, it's not 8 legs, but okay, still spider. Because we said so.
It's nice that the body of the vehicle is pretty much just what, 2 pieces?
Right. So this is the upper part that is going to be consistent for both versions.
That's nice.
Right. And it's hollow.
Yeah. So it won't be super heavy, and that's a mine weigh a ton.
Just the beginning. They've figured out hollow plastic construction.
Yeah, exactly. So
we may be on the way of receiving
some of those big heavies.
heavy vehicles.
Yeah.
Giddy. The cannons pieces. There's 3 heads on the sprue.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
No eyes. One's got like a helmet. Looks cool. And one who has a dark brown haircut. But yeah, compared to the resin, these are going to be so much lighter. I mean, you'll have to compare because you have some monocads.
Yeah.
But these are going to be so much lighter.
I mean, those were a lot of pieces too. So I'll probably build these in a fraction of the time.
Right. And if you look at the joint for the arm attachment is the hollowed out sphere, and then the body is.
I really like that. I like the ball sockets because if you're doing a custom base, it allows you a little more flexibility when you're mounting those to your base. You can change up just the position of it just enough to give it that variety.
They actually have a little peg inside those.
Oh, they do? Okay.
So, and if you look on the bodies, they have the pins. So they're designed to go a certain way, but all you have to do is snip or scrape that little peg off,
Yeah.
and you are free to roam about the cabin, basically.
Yeah. I like
You can
that.
manipulate, you know, the armitage, or at least the swing of the shoulder joint. They also have a couple of head options here.
Now, I just noticed now,
Oh,
back when we were looking at the Iron Horses, Benji was asking if there was rocket pods on there.
I did not see rocket pods, but if you look at this one, it's kind of got that like grenade launcher spool.
Yeah.
So it still has the 6 barrels, but I have a feeling it's, maybe a grenader versus an actual gap. Obviously, these are gaps here.
Okay.
Or is the Blazer now these
I
and
think
that's
that,
Gatlin? I don't know.
yeah, those might be for the Blazer, because the Blazer had the 4 guns.
It actually was 6.
Did it have 6? Okay. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you're right. It did have 6. Huh. Well, we'll have to look in the, I guess, double check on the stats and stuff like that, weapons available to them.
right.
There's all the shields they have.
Yep, there's 3 shields. They're identical. But I do like the fact there are um, lots of heads. So there's basically, it looks like 3 different style of heads. So there's 9 heads on on one sprue. So you have these, the hollow-eyed helmet. You have the optical, like 2 optical sensors, one on top of the other head. Then you have the central eye.
A lot of variety.
Yeah, there's 3 different heads for these Union box, which is cool. All right, so that's the other sprue, and that is, we've gone through all the sprue. Um, I will go ahead and bring them all up here so you can just see the mountain of sprues that you're going to have here. So this is the ta-da. There are 8 sprues in this box. You have the hero sprues. You have the 4 Iron Horse sprues, and then you have 3 Tesla Black sprues and the 3 Mono sprues. That is a whole lot of Wild excess in there. You want to check the questions to see if there's anything we missed? They want to have a clarification. I'm going to move this sprues, and then I'm going to open up one of these decks. Someone did ask specifically about the decks. So I will open up
I think that rocket pod question was the last one we had, Brian.
The rocket pod one.
Yeah.
I didn't see any rocket pods. So without diving into more of what the card showed, there is one additional piece that you need to build your posses, and it's called the faction handbook. So those aren't published yet. So in the next month, as the gubbin starts releasing, that's when we'll see that, right? Because you don't really need it to play the Showdown at Retribution, because they just basically say, here's your campaign, do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it gives them more time to prepare the release of, the handbooks. And the handbooks basically are very similar to how the Dystopian Wars list building is done. It's each faction will have their own little book that guides you into what's available, and how you build your posses or your detachments, depending on what faction. Because both so factions that make no sense to have their units called posses will not have posses, right? So that's why the Union and the Enlightened don't have posses anymore. They have detachments. So in their handbook, it details what that entails.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll check. I had to refresh the page, but
go. So instead of the hat.
Yeah, that's a little more straightforward, I think.
Are they seeing you or?
Now they're seeing everything. Hold on, let me change it. Let me go to. They're seeing all of us. There we go.
So obviously the hat's gone. It says triggered activation. That is what's changed on this card. And in the glory part, you'll see it says destroy a hand/troop. And that's pretty much what to expect on changes. Otherwise, it should be the same. Action point deck didn't really change. The number of ones, the number of twos, the number of threes, number of fours, and the single 5 did not change. That standard remained. And this little notation of it being version 1.10, that's new too. So I guess I could try to open this. Hold on, put that down.
Here, I'll switch back to this. Well, since we're opening this, there we go, Brian.
What's that?
I just switched the view so you can open them. People didn't have to stare at the table.
Right.
So we'll pop this open, take a quick look at them. Not too many changes, just kind of subtle. Like we showed you the one where they kind of removed the 10-gallon hat icon, just to make it a little more icon-wise, more streamlined, less confusing. Looks like we have the same people that have joined us from the beginning. Thank you guys for sticking through with us. What are we at here, Brian? I'm trying to see. We are at an hour and 40. So if you've been here that long, thank you. And once again, like I did mention at the beginning of this, if you guys are catching this late, you'll be able to watch the whole thing later on Facebook, or if you prefer to watch it elsewhere, like YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and upload it onto YouTube tomorrow. So
So
All
you
right.
want to throw up the cards again?
Yep. Let me go ahead and spotlight on the cards so everybody can get a good view of it. So here we go. What do we got there, Brian? What are we looking at?
Yeah, again, nothing really is leaping out change wise. That's pretty much what they said they were going to do, is just tweak
Some of the
the wording
wording.
of those specific things, which
Okay.
means triggered activation is probably the easiest thing you will see that has changed. And then now you'll see troop, specialist, and
Okay.
commander.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest issue or biggest change that you're going to see. There might be one word here and there just as they cleaned up some of the text, but
Yeah.
for the most part,
Yeah. They
right?
look
So
all the same.
the
Nice.
Boston Commander one.
Okay.
So the actual 5
That's
inches of the center of of area of play didn't change. So
yeah.
literally, the glory part didn't change except they added the slash commander to it, and really that just we all knew Lost World X was coming. Um, Obviously, we're not going to get a completely new rule book for Lost World Exodus. Um, that's going to have different rules in it, right? So when we'll probably get a Lost World Exodus box set,
Mm-hmm.
and it will have a Lost World Exodus rule book.
Yeah.
The rules section in the front will just be a polished up version of this version, right?
Yeah.
So, say if we have a little bit of errata over the next couple of months or the year, there may be minor tweaks here and there. That will be in that Lost World Exodus reprint. But then the fluff section in that book will be all new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever's in the Dystopian War book. But the front of it is going to be the rules that we're going to get to know, from this book.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and it'll probably have a bunch of new pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But the deck is going to be the same, right? The rules are going to be the same. The difference will be in the handbooks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Except for the Union handbook. The Union handbook won't need to change because it's already designed for the eventual that phase of the dystopian age. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
now, mind you, this is brainstorming.
Yeah. Well, we will see, right, when
Right.
it comes out, to see what more there is.
Right. But those little changes to the glory part is all that we're really going to see. They
Yeah.
didn't add more action point cards. They didn't add more of the different guts. Some of the suggestions that the team discussed was trying to change the glories, and they were like, "No, there's no reason to."
Yeah. I mean, they're I think they're straightforward, and I don't want to say basic in the sense of it's a bad thing, but it's like they're not overcomplicated. Uh, I mean, there's already enough, I think, randomness in that deck that changing them would make it more random, you know?
Right. Well, but I think some of the biggest complaint is there's a lot of destroy hand cards in here.
Okay.
If you have hands and your opponent doesn't, they have access to all these victory points that you just won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was one of the complaints. So, in really, how do you do a deck that is tailored to someone's playstyle? You don't.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you build this deck to encompass all styles of play,
Yeah.
and there is a guts
I mean, there's plenty
portion of that card.
for faces.
Just use it for guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just the reality. Is like I've played many a time.
Don't take hands. You know?
Right. I've played many times where my adventure card was basically unusable. So of course, I play a lot of the face heavy lists, and having a elite on the team, those cards I just would turn into, +1 action cards, right?
Yeah.
Because at that point, that was one of the special abilities. You can just basically change any card to +1 action point. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. Oh wait, my opponent doesn't have troops. Oh, and this guts is not something I'm going to be using.
And
So I'll just use it as an action point.
yeah, that's the big point of this is that they're dual, you can use them two different ways in that case where you just like, yeah, I can't use this for this. So
Right.
let me see if we got any other stuff here. Benji comments, nice beard, Brian. And he's actually asking a question, and we'll have to dive into the rule books for this one, Benji, a little bit more. But he basically wants to know, have the theme posses remain? And he wanted to know a little bit, has force creation changed greatly? I don't think it has it, Brian? Just maybe little tweaks here and there. Like we've already kind of showed points changed a little bit. I mean, we'll have to read the rule book to see if there's any little tweaks, but
So that's not going to be in the rule book. The force building stuff is in the rule book, but
yeah,
it's very
it'll be like with the cards, like it
designed
has been,
to
right?
not be in the rule book. It's
Okay.
designed to be in the handbook,
Okay.
right? So I'll pull up. I've had access to the Union one. It's not a official version. It's a Warhorse preview. And if I don't know if Benji, I don't know if you dove into the Dystopian Wars. It literally is very similar to that. So the way the detachments work is it's a box, and it says basically this is a Union faction detachment. Um, this is the most flexible way you can deploy a Union detachment. It has a broad range of units available. It's an essential component of any commander's force. So the way that it's going to work is you're still going to choose a commander and decide on whether or not they're going to bring a detachment, and then you get basically this is what the composition of your detachment looks like. You have to have a commander, and then you say you can bring up to 4 units, and then it basically may or may not have something else. Like say you cannot bring more than 1 unit of of each type, and then there will be a bonus. So far of all the theme posses, every one of them has a bonus. Even the faction detachment has a bonus. So used to your basic detachment or posse build didn't have bonuses, but it appears at least the Union one does. So I have a feeling they all will have their own unique bonus, whether it be a faction, posse, or detachment versus one of the themes. And so the themes
Okay.
pretty much stayed the same. The names will be basically the box set name. Um, so when you look through these, like Forlorn Hope detachment, the Irresistible Force detachment, um, No Surrender, Secret Service. There's one of them called the Burning the Breeze. Obviously, I think the only detachment that's listed here, the Manifest Destiny detachment, that's the only one that probably won't ever have its own box, just because that's the legendary Abe Lincoln brings all the bosses with him detachment. So, I
Yeah.
mean, they're not going to do a box set with a bunch of bosses. At least I don't think. But yeah, so the ability to have each of the attachments, what you can bring, how you can bring it, but they've gone from the 6-cylinder style, uh, at least for the Union, and it's just up to 4.
Okay.
Up to 4 different units, and then depending on what kind of detachment theme is going on, it's going to give you different rules on traits that you have to have for that unit, the size, those kind of things.
Okay.
Then that's also where you'll see their armory. Will give you kind of heads up on what you can add to it or remove from it.
They said that they're going to release a lot of that info after the gubbins, right?
Right. And
Okay.
it's mainly just so we can get a lot of this stuff built together or put together.
Yeah.
Obviously, the rules were first. The handbooks and cards were next. So they're still doing all that drafting. I mean, it's a sizable lift as far as design and stuff like that. So
okay,
we'll eventually get to see all that stuff.
Yeah.
The Iron Horses show to have rocket pods as an option that you can pay up to. I just did not see a rocket pod or what I would think a rocket pod would look like. But I have a feeling that's what that.
Yeah.
Is. I don't see Blazer on here. So I'm really not sure. Now, there are some neat things on here, but I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, especially since we're live on Facebook.
Yeah. I might get a nasty memo. Sorry, Stuart. I didn't give out any details. Just design.
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of dive into the box set a little bit, you guys, and show you what's all in it and what comes with it. So hopefully it gave you guys a good idea of what it all looks like. It looks sharp. I just gotta wait for that dang Pony Express to bring my stuff now. And now Brian,
you can rewatch
and just relive it. Well, now you get to start building now that you opened it. Yeah. I'm surprised you made it this long since you got it, just like 2-3 days ago, right?
No, I got it today.
You got it today? Okay. Nice try.
Hey,
nice try. But you guys, if you joined us and watched the whole thing, if I had my cowboy hat on, I'd tip it to you because, man, oh man, thank you for watching us open this and oogle and drool and just check out all this stuff in the new 3rd edition 2-player box set from War Cradle Studios for Wild West Exodus. If you guys like this, give us the thumbs up. Let us know you liked it. Comment, share. We'll see all that stuff. And
if you'd like to see us ramble on live,
we can do
let us know. I mean, we can do more lives. We kind of tend not to because we ramble, but and you never know how long it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to interact with you guys. When we do the live stuff, you guys comment and we can see the comments and answer your questions directly. And we started doing some hobby stuff. Maybe we could get back into that with this new stuff coming out. But keep an eye open for that. Or if you guys just want to hear some audio and hear us ramble, you can check us out on over on the Podbean. Hear some of our regular episode stuff that we do. Check us out on YouTube if you guys want more unboxings. Brian did a bunch of unboxings for not only Wild West Exodus, but we did unboxings for Dystopian Wars. So if you guys are into that, you can check that out and give it a like and a subscribe and all that good stuff with smashing buttons. And hey, if you have any questions, you can comment here or just send us an email at blackhoofsaloon.com. What is it? Blackhoof Saloon Gmail. What am I saying? .com. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm rusty on this stuff, Brian. But yeah, send us an email over at blackhoofsaloon@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you guys and give us your suggestions and stuff like that. And let me see if we have any last questions or comments before we get out of here. Benji's asking about Albert Campbell. We don't know yet. We will have to wait and see when some faction cards get released. I'm sure he has.
I have seen his card.
And then Andrew is asking, any plans to work on the Global League Live? I don't know if I have time, to tell you the truth, with my schedule and stuff.
On the what?
On the Global League.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, they wanted. It looks like they organized on the blog to, participate with the building with everybody at the same pace. I'll look into that. I remember reading it, going, "Ooh, that'd be kind of neat." But
it's kind of like from starting at ground zero and just working through and building and painting and building forces and stuff. Yeah, that would be neat. And then we have one last one. Ryan Hart wants to know when the podcast episode about the new edition is coming out. Well, Ryan, me and Brian have talked about that, and we will have to. I have to get mine yet, and then we have to read through it. And we did mention earlier, if you missed this, that what we're probably going to do is do an episode where we kind of touch on what the big changes were, even the little changes. We'll just go over some of the key points, I think, in the new edition.
Right. So if you listen to the podcast over the last 2 years, you knew we had broke down the rules by section. So we're just going to do the same.
Yeah,
so
we'll do the same and
on
just probably touch on those key points, right?
Yeah, well, just so everyone can know, hey, this is version 3, how to build a posse. Here's version 3, sequence of gameplay. Here's version 3, special rules. Here's version 3, weapon qualities. Here's version 3, card dump. We'll go through, piece by piece, and then we'll probably, spread them out. Like some of the topics are going to be short, so we can stack them up. But we'll touch on everything, and then add in other things as well. I do believe last time I talked to Tom, we had some prize support, so we're probably going to do some kind of contest. We just haven't confirmed what that contest may be yet. I have War Cradle Freeland sent me an Empire sprue that I did my whole magnet tinkering with, so it's fully interchangeable. I've painted it up, I've sealed it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna buy any more of the Empire, although the November's pre-order just popped today and it's flying dragons. So someone, you can send me one War Cradle. I'll do my full magnetic thing for that.
Oh man!
But I might do my Empire sprue, those cruisers, and it's 2 cruisers and 4 frigates. Might be a prize support, so that might be one of the things we do is in a contest. Is that could be the winning prize is the painted by Powell Empire cruisers and frigates. So if you want to know what those look like, dive into our videos, because I did a video on it.
Over on YouTube, you can check them out. But I think that's about it, Brian. We should probably get out of here. We've been on this for 2 hours, and like I said, there's probably people that have been here from the beginning. I thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
This. That's pretty awesome. That means people are excited about this new set coming out. So, like Brian said, keep an eye and ear open for some new stuff, content. Maybe we'll do some more of these live streams for you guys. Maybe a little bit more planned. This one was a little bit spontaneous. So,
right. And definitely comment on which which model you want to see me build on a video. And that will be my first video post. This one is I will build whatever you guys tell me to build first.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, guys, while you're out there clamoring for the new edition, right with the sun at your back, and always roll those big crits. This is Eric saying, see ya.
This is Brian.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for stopping by the Blackhoof Saloon, y'all. We hope you enjoyed your visit. Feel free to get a hold of us with comments or questions via the interwebs and shoot us a telegraph at blackhoofsaloon@gmail.com. You can also find us on the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Music for the podcast was provided for use by Ross Bugden and can be found at one of his YouTube channels, Ross Bugden Music or Ross Bugden Composer. Until your next visit, ride with the sun at your back and always roll those big crits.